Rap has always been defined by eras. The gangster rap era of the late 80s and early 90s, the ringtone era that allowed Soulja Boy to top charts, the Southern Takeover led by Outkast and Lil Wayne, and now we sit firmly in what's best referred to as the internet era. An era as diverse as the industry has ever seen, a place where lyricists like Kendrick Lamar can coexist with artists like Future and Lil Yachty. This diversity in rap has created an era defined less by sound and more by an idea that takes full form in the shape of Chance the Rapper.
I got my city doing front flips.
The ubiquity of things like SoundCloud has given rise to incredible sounds, but finding something unique in the sea of those new sounds is more than difficult. Kanye's early years, particularly things like Late Registration, had a big impact on rap. It gave rise to a freedom that rap hadn't seen in years, a freedom to do things differently, to express yourself differently. Chance the Rapper takes that freedom and runs with it. Everything about Chance's trilogy of mixtapes has been more Chance than it's been anything else, and every piece of it runs in its own direction. It starts before you press play. Instead of whipping together your typical mixtape cover art, Chance tapped modern artist Brandon Burrow to create detailed painted portraitures in an effort to present mixtapes as fine art, or at least their surface as such. An approach very few artists at the time were taking, an approach that inspired things like Drake's Nothing Was the Same cover art later, and an approach that would continue with Chance's most recent singles. Minimalist pieces meant to imitate internet meme culture, just enough to grab your attention and give the piece a moment of your time, and once you do, that's where the separation between Chance and his peers deepens. Chance has gone from an energetic high school rapper to something so much more. Acid rap has become a cult favorite, being downloaded on mixtape hosting sites like DatPiff over 1 million times, putting the then 20-year-old rapper on the map outside of his home city. Where that second full-length effort was a drug-induced high-energy trip, Chance's sound has evolved into what can only be described as Sunday in Chicago. Taking advantage of the talent of trumpeter Nico Segal, Coloring Book and his newer surrounding work has been defined by up-tempo horns, organs, the choir samples on No Problem, and in the case of the tape's intro track, the literal Chicago Children's Choir. This church-bent sound carries throughout Coloring Book. Using interpolation, Chance drives that sound home. Take this song by Chris Tomlin. Here it is interpolated into How Great. Or Fred Hammond's literal church song, Let the Praise Begin. Used in the reprise version of Blessings. But the original almost always has its inspirations, and one of those for Coloring Book is Francis and the Lights. A technique Francis named Prismizer is used by Chance to separate his sound as well. It's a technique that's kind of like auto-tune, but it's used to make one vocal track sound almost like a choir by building the chords around it instead of simply pitch correcting them. You can hear it on How Great, Summer Friends, and even Same Drugs. And this Prismizer choir sound is fitting given that you'd be forgiven for calling something like Coloring Book gospel rap or soul rap. Chance has been heavily influenced by gospel legend Kirk Franklin, who also makes an appearance in the outro track of Coloring Book. That influence shows. Much of Coloring Book is gospel, something we simply don't see in mainstream rap, and where that could turn off a good chunk of listeners, Chance succeeds in creating something that never presses too hard, thanks to a balance brought on by reality-driven subject matter. Chance isn't rapping about grills or how much lean he's on, he's rapping about finding his strength in a relationship, his daughter, about a version of the black American rapper that doesn't fit the mold that the Jay-Z's once fit into. The rapper that can somehow mesh together Jay Electronica, Francis and the Lights, his cousin, and make it all work on one track about God, in a way that any frat guy in any college in middle America would still be playing in their car on the way to McDonald's. An artist that can go from a project that features a snippet of a sermon to a single that samples something like this.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
he's managing to do it in ways that no other artist ever has. As the era of mixtape artists has died down in favor of single-track releases on things like SoundCloud, Chance has spent the last 10 years handing out his music, full-length projects for free. An artist that is independent, that has turned down $10 million advances, opportunities to sign with his inspiration in Kanye West, all in an effort to retain full creative control over his sound, choosing instead to make his money from touring and brand deals that he himself has full decision-making power over. Where the rest of the industry is searching for deals, Chance is running for them, choosing to give his music to all in an effort to build a brand that he himself owns. The first Grammy winner to get that win with a streaming-only album, Chance has become a beacon of hope for up-and-coming artists. Proof that you don't need a label, millions of dollars to make music that people take notice of. You don't need to give up control. The music can be yours, and yours only. If music is about expression, then honesty in sound is of utmost importance. And Chance has never been anybody other than his truest self. Whether that's rapping about a school suspension or making a gospel rap song cool, Chance is more than a sum of his influences. I mentioned at the jump that this internet of rap is better defined by an idea than a sound. That idea is the pursuit of something rare, to turn today's rap into something raw again. Not necessarily gritty, but authentic. To tear down the facade, to deconstruct the boxes of mainstream rap and connect with something. Chance the Rapper feels real, plain and simple.
Magnify, magnify, lift it on high. Spit a Spotify to qualify a spot on his side. I cannot modify, ratify. My mama made me apple.